Hi, I'm Anahi. At 68, I've spent the last decade managing our family estate since my husband Frank passed. Not the retirement I imagined, but this place means everything to our family. The Riverwood estate has been passed down for 4 generations. 15 acres of rolling hills, gardens, and a colonial house that's hosted every major family event since before I was born. My son Marcus visits every Sunday with his wife Diane. They're good people, just a bit distracted. Marcus works too much at his law firm, and Diane is always chasing the next promotion. Their daughters are like night and day. Elena, my younger granddaughter, is 24 and studying to be a veterinarian. Sweet girl, always offering to help around the estate. Then there's Veronica, 26 and already climbing the corporate ladder at some marketing firm downtown. Pretty girl, knows it too. Always been the princess of the family. Grandma, I have amazing news. Veronica burst through my front door last month, flashing a diamond ring that caught the sunlight streaming through the windows. James proposed. I'd met James a few times. Seemed like a decent man, quiet but polite. Comes from money, according to Marcus. That's wonderful, sweetheart. I'm so happy for you. We're thinking June. Dad says the estate would be perfect. Of course he did, without asking me first. For the engagement party, I wanted to give Veronica something special. In my bedroom closet, I kept a cherrywood box with my most treasured possessions. Inside was a platinum and sapphire bracelet that Frank's grandmother had worn on her wedding day in 1912. The sapphires matched Veronica's eyes perfectly. I spent 3 hours polishing each stone, had the clasp repaired, and found a jeweler to restore the delicate filigree work. Cost me nearly $2,000, but family heirlooms are priceless. The engagement party was at Marcus and Diane's house. Everyone who's anyone in their social circle showed up. Time for gifts, Diane announced after dinner. Veronica tore through boxes of crystal, appliances, and gift cards. I waited until the end to present my small velvet box. This belonged to your great-great-grandmother, I explained as Veronica opened it. She wore it on her wedding day. The sapphires reminded me of your eyes. Veronica barely glanced at it before passing it to James. Look, babe. Another bracelet. It's beautiful, James said, examining it carefully. I guess, Veronica shrugged, reaching for another gift. Then leaning toward her friend Chelsea, she whispered, not quietly enough. This gift looks so cheap. Grandma could have at least gotten us something from our registry. The room didn't exactly go silent, but I felt several pairs of eyes dart my way. Elena shot her sister a horrified look. I smiled politely and sipped my champagne, even as I felt my heart crack. 68 years teaches you how to hide pain behind a pleasant expression. But it also teaches you that some lessons need to be learned the hard way. 2 weeks after the engagement party, Marcus called for a family dinner at my place to discuss wedding plans. I made pot roast, though my mind was still stuck on that cheap gift comment. We're thinking around 200 guests, Veronica announced. Ceremony in the rose garden, reception on the east lawn, dancing in the main hall. Sounds like quite an event. When were you planning to ask if I was okay with hosting? Ask? Veronica laughed. It's basically our family venue. Where else would we have it? Maybe at a venue you've actually reserved? This is still my home. Mom, don't be difficult, Marcus chimed in. Of course Veronica should have her wedding here. We've already put down deposits with the caterer and DJ, Diane added. And when exactly is this date you've chosen for my property? June 17th, Veronica said, showing me photos on her phone. I'm thinking white roses everywhere. Grandma, it's no big deal. I've already mailed the invitations. I nearly choked. You what? Veronica slid an invitation across the table. Sure enough, there was Riverwood Estate printed right on the card. My address. My home. This is completely inappropriate. You can't just... Can we focus on something that actually matters? Like, where are we putting the catering tents? And Grandma, we need to clear out that old junk from the west sitting room for the bridal suite. That old junk is my personal belongings in my home. Don't be so sensitive. It's just one weekend. After dinner, I went to the kitchen to clean up. Through the serving hatch, I heard Veronica talking in the dining room. Grandma's being such a pain. It's not like she has anything else going on. She should be grateful we're bringing some life to this depressing place. Just humor her, Diane said. Your father will talk her around. She's probably still upset about that bracelet thing, Marcus added. The way she clutches onto this house is pathetic, Veronica continued. Like, move to a retirement community already? I stepped back in. If that's how you feel about my home, perhaps you should find another venue. Mom, she didn't mean, Marcus started. Yes, she did. And apparently you agree with her. Grandma, you're overreacting, Veronica said dismissively. This is my wedding we're talking about. Later that night, Elena called me. Grandma, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry about Veronica. Thank you, sweetheart. She's been showing off that venue to everyone, acting like she owns the place. I stared out at my gardens, moonlight washing over the property my family had respected for generations. No, it's not right at all, and I think it's time someone taught your sister that actions have consequences. The next morning, I called Lux Events, the most exclusive event planning company in the county. Riverwood Estate? We've had clients inquire about that property for years. Their representative, Miss Parker, gushed. It's on several historical registries. Well, I'm open to rentals for the right price, particularly June 17th. Within 3 days, Miss Parker called back. I have a tech executive who's been searching for a unique venue for his daughter's Sweet 16. They're offering $15,000 for the weekend. Make it 20, and they can have exclusive access to the gardens too. A week later, I signed the contract and deposited a very substantial check. I'd barely put my reading glasses away when Marcus and Diane stormed into my living room. What's this about you renting out the estate for June 17th? Marcus demanded, waving his phone. Veronica just got a call from her florist, saying there's a conflict. There's no conflict. I've rented my property for that date, fair and square. But that's Veronica's wedding date. Diane's voice hit a pitch I didn't think possible for a human. A date they selected for my property without asking me? So this is some petty revenge? Cancel it now. I've signed a legally binding contract. Your daughter should have asked before sending out invitations. Marcus paced the room. This is insane. What's Veronica supposed to tell her guests? The truth might be refreshing, that she tried to appropriate someone else's property without permission. After they left in a fury, Elena came by with a casserole and tea. Grandma, that was boss move. But are you okay? I'm done being a doormat. Has Veronica always been this entitled? Elena sighed. Remember when she borrowed your car last Thanksgiving and returned it with an empty tank and a dent? Or when she took great-grandma's pearl earrings to wear to that gala and lost one? She never even apologized. The next day, James unexpectedly showed up alone. Mrs. Anahay, I wanted to apologize for the confusion. I had no idea Veronica hadn't actually secured the venue. It's not your fault, James. She's been difficult lately. Screaming at vendors, making demands. Yesterday she fired the third wedding planner. I could see the doubt in his eyes. That's when Veronica burst through my front door like a hurricane. What have you done? Her mascara was running down her cheeks. You've ruined everything. You made assumptions about my property without asking. Cancel the rental. I'll look like a complete fool. I can't break a legal contract. Yes, you can. Pay them off. Use your retirement money. James stepped forward. Veronica, that's enough. Stay out of this, she snapped at him. Grandma, if you loved me, you'd fix this. If you respected me, we wouldn't be here. Fine. I'm sorry about the stupid bracelet. There. Happy now? This isn't about the bracelet, it's about years of disrespect. I'll tell everyone you're senile, that you forgot. Dad will back me up. James looked shocked. Veronica, what is wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. My grandmother is sabotaging my wedding out of spite. No, I said calmly. I'm teaching you that actions have consequences. Perhaps your next venue will be secured properly, with permission from the actual owner. Veronica stormed out, slamming the door so hard one of my framed photos crashed to the floor. James stood there looking stunned. I've never seen her like this before, he said quietly. I suspect you've never seen the real Veronica before. The next morning, my phone started ringing at 6 a.m. Veronica called 17 times before noon. When I finally answered, she was screaming, "Fix this now, or I swear I'll contest your will when you die. I'll tell everyone you've lost your mind." That's quite enough, Veronica. I've already told the country club you're having memory issues. Just wait until everyone in your bridge group hears about this. That afternoon, she showed up with Marcus and Diane. I was in the garden when they approached. "Mom, this has gone too far," Marcus said. "You need to make this right." "Yeah, you've made your point," Diane added. "Now stop punishing everyone over a misunderstanding." A misunderstanding? Veronica sent out invitations with my address without asking me. "Because we all assumed it would be fine," Veronica shouted. "That's what family does." "Family also shows respect," I countered. Veronica grabbed a potted plant and hurled it across the garden. "I hate you. You've always liked Elena better." Just then, James pulled up in his car. He stood watching as Veronica continued her tantrum. "You're ruining my life. You owe me this wedding. After everything I've done for you." "What exactly have you done for me, Veronica?" She had no answer, just more rage. "Cancel the rental, or I'll tell everyone you abused me as a child." James stepped forward. "That's enough. I heard everything." "James, how long have you been standing there?" "Long enough," he said, removing his sunglasses. "We need to talk. Privately." "Not now. I'm dealing with my demented grandmother." "Yes, now. Car. Now." They left, and I watched as they argued in his car before he drove away, leaving Veronica standing in my driveway. 2 days later, Elena called me. "Grandma, have you heard? James broke off the engagement. He's telling everyone it's because he saw Veronica's true colors." The news spread like wildfire. Veronica's friends started distancing themselves after hearing about her behavior. Some even called me to apologize for already booking travel. Marcus and Diane came over for Sunday dinner, without Veronica. There was tension in the air. "I never realized how much we've let her get away with," Marcus admitted. "All these years, making excuses for her behavior." "We failed her by not setting boundaries," Diane said. "And we failed you too, Anahi. I'm sorry." It wasn't an instant fix, but it was a start. I used the rental money to establish a scholarship at the veterinary school Elena attended. We named it after Frank. "He would have loved this," Elena said as we finalized the paperwork. Veronica moved to another state for a job. No goodbye, no reconciliation. Marcus says she's still bitter but won't discuss what happened. Last week, I was polishing the sapphire bracelet when Elena asked if she could wear it someday. "Of course, sweetheart, to someone who will appreciate its value." Sometimes the hardest lessons to teach are the ones about respect. And sometimes, standing your ground means standing alone. But I'd rather stand alone with my dignity than bend to disrespect, even from family. Who do you think is more responsible for how Veronica turned out? Her parents who constantly enabled her entitled behavior? Or Veronica herself as an adult who should know better? Would you have handled things differently than Anahi did? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story of a grandmother who finally stood her ground, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. New videos every day.